Today on Real Life and Real Estate, we are all leaving something behind. What will you leave behind? Well, welcome to Real Life and Real Estate. I'm Mark Peebles, here to help you live your best life and achieve ultimate success. Today we have one of my favorite topics. It's the topic of legacy, but more specifically, your inheritance versus your legacy. Before we get into it, though, let me talk to you about my favorite home warranty in the business and the sponsor for Real Life and Real Estate. That is Advantage Home Warranty. I carry an Advantage Home Warranty on my own home, and let me tell you, it's the best investment that I make on my home. Why do I call it an investment? Because I always get my money's worth out of it. For the, $1,200 I spend a year on my home warranty for my particular home, I always get way more than that in value. And so I highly recommend that you have an Advantage Home Warranty on your home. Best home warranty in the business. Great service. It's family owned. It's local. So if you're in Ohio, you definitely want to check it out. Advantage Home Warranty is at AdvantageHW.com. That's AdvantageHW.com. Go check it out. So today, very important topic that we're going to talk about, and that is your inheritance versus your legacy, right? We are all going to leave some kind of inheritance behind. That is the stuff that we are leaving behind. And when it comes to leaving an inheritance, it says in Proverbs, it says that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And so leaving an inheritance is a great thing. But really, what's more important than the inheritance that you're going to leave behind is the legacy that you leave behind. So let's define the two. Your inheritance, those are the things, like I said, the stuff that you leave behind. It would be like the money you leave behind, property, possessions. It's the material things that you're going to pass on to future generations. That is your inheritance, and we all leave some kind of inheritance behind. I remember when my grandma passed away years ago, she left a tremendous inheritance behind. Money? No. Great wealth? No. Possessions? Lots of possessions. She was a hoarder, and I'll never forget, it took my mom and her sisters weeks to clean out her house because of that inheritance that she left behind, right? So that's the stuff that you leave behind, good or bad. We're all leaving stuff, but legacy, those are the people that you leave behind, and more importantly, the impact that you had on those people. That is what the legacy that you are going to leave is found in, is that impact that you've had. So my encouragement to you is we're going to leave an inheritance, but let's focus on leaving a legacy. So how do we leave a legacy, or how do we build a legacy? Well, let's talk about the who first. And I really think that there's opportunity to leave legacy all over. If we just look at the relationships that we have, which I believe I've talked in the past before about your 5 core relationships, your with God, family, your clients, community, and counterparts, your 5 core relationships. Now, leaving a legacy with God, you're not going to leave a legacy to God. You're not necessarily impacting him. It's more about the impact that he has on you that you use to impact others. That's how you leave legacy. So let's talk about family, community, counterparts, clients, and how you can leave legacy there. First off, I think one of your greatest opportunities to leave legacy is in your children. So if you have children, and I know not everybody out there has children, but if you have children, I do believe it is an amazing opportunity for legacy. You have this one generation that you're promised. So I have 3 kids, Tommy, Olivia, and Ellie. They're 21, 19. Man, I'll get them straight here one of these days. 21, 19, and 15. And really amazing kids. Now, I don't have any grandkids yet. Someday I will. But here's the thing. I know for sure, for certain, that I have this one generation to impact. I don't know if I'll ever meet my grandkids. We're not promised tomorrow, but I do know that today I have three amazing kids that I get to speak into their lives. I get to sow into their lives. I get to model how to live to them. I get to teach them things, right? And then I get to be an encouragement to them. So are you modeling well how to live to your kids? Are you teaching them valuable lessons, things that have been passed down to you, the good things that have been passed down to you? And are you speaking into their lives positive things, encouraging things that are going to help them grow as a human being? You know what? I also believe this is just another thought. Sometimes disciplining your kids can be a way that you're actually leaving legacy in them, because discipline is actually important for children, right? So that might also be building into that positive legacy. It's not all about, the positive, encouraging, exciting things of life, but it's also teaching them when they are making mistakes, when they did go wrong, how to course correct, because someday that'll be part of your legacy, is a generation that knows how to course correct. So that said, your children are an amazing place to leave legacy. Where else can you leave legacy? Well, clients, counterparts, communities, the clients that you get to serve, you're building legacy into them and into their families. I'll never forget one time, I had this couple, they were sitting across from me. They were all tatted up, wearing their, multiple earrings, and I'm looking at them. I'm meeting with them because my dad asked me to meet with them. My dad at the time was probably in his early 70s, and I'm looking at this couple and I'm going, how did you get connected to my dad, right? And they said, oh, well, he was our grandparents' agent and our parents' agent, and they said when it came time to buy a house that he was the only one that we should work with. And it was that legacy that my dad built into clients that led to those grandparents telling their kids that they should use my dad, right? And then those kids into their children or the grandchildren there saying you should use, Mike, right? And so there's this legacy that you can build with clients. With your counterparts, you can mentor counterparts. You can be a mentor, a coach. You can be one who just is always encouraging, that's positive, that's always speaking life into those around you. And so leaving a legacy through mentorship is actually a very powerful thing. Think about this. Like if I have 100 agents that I get to speak into their lives, and I'm consistently inspiring them to live their best lives and achieve ultimate success, then into each one of those that I'm speaking into, that I am pouring life into, they're going to go and do that to others. So think about the impact of that kind of a legacy. And you might say, well, I don't have reach over 100 agents. No, but you might have reach over 2 or 3 other people that you work with, or other people in the industry that you work with, counterparts in the industry that you work with, that you can be building life into and leaving legacy that stretches beyond yourself and pours into other people. Legacy. You want to leave legacy. What kind of legacy are you leaving in your community? One of my favorite organizations in the greater Dayton area, that's a community that I serve. I serve Dayton and Cincinnati, but in the Dayton area, there's an organization called Victory Project. Look it up. Victory Project, Dayton, Ohio. One of the most amazing organizations I've ever been a part of. I have been sewing into this organization for many years. But what they're doing is they are taking young men that would be destined for a life on the streets. They are bringing them into this after-school program. They teach them the 3 E's. They teach them education, entrepreneurship, enlightenment. And basically, they're teaching these boys that if you come in, you work hard in your studies, you earn the right to work. That's the entrepreneurship piece. To make a paycheck. That's actually a privilege that we have, is to earn money. And then enlightenment piece, that teaching them that everything they have is not their own, and that they're subject to God who loves them, right? So they're teaching them these amazing things. Now, here's the thing. They actually did a study. It was an independent study that was done by the University of Dayton looking at Victory Project and looking at what happens when you take one of these young men, you educate them or help them get educated, you give them the opportunities to work and teach them to love work and teach them enlightenment. What happens long term with those young men? They looked at how much it actually saves the system, i.e., how much does it save our government? How much does it save us as taxpayers to take one young man from poverty into a life of productivity and being a citizen that is, contributing to society as opposed to taking from society? Now, I've thrown the question out to so many people over the years, how much do you think that would save society? And I've had people guess $100,000. I've had people guess $200,000. But the reality, it's like $2 million for that one child that they take off of what could be a life on the streets, a life in prison, a life with teen pregnancy, and you sow into that one person, and it can save society $2 million. Why is that? Because not only does it change their lives, but then siblings start to see their success, and they want to be different. And next thing you know, they're moving from, living in the projects to now owning homes, owning businesses, and being greatly successful in life, helping them rise above. So when you sow into these kind of organizations, when you volunteer for these kind of organizations, you're building a legacy, and an organization like Victory Project is all about building legacy. So you can be sowing into things in your community that are building legacy. Here's the bottom line. Legacy is not about you. I mean, it's who you are as a person. It's the things that you've learned, the unique experiences that you have that you're pouring into other people. But the legacy that you will leave is about other people and what other people are going to pull from the way that you live your life. I want to share a story with you that really exemplifies and will illustrate the inheritance versus the legacy. And this is about a friend of mine. His name is Sam Chand. And in the summer of 1989, this remarkable story unfolded on the campus of Beulah Heights University. Dr. Sam Chand, a visionary leader, had just arrived, ready to embark on a new chapter. On that very first day, his eyes fell upon a young man diligently navigating a lawnmower across the grounds. This was Benson Karanja, an African immigrant with a heart full of dreams who had journeyed to America seeking knowledge and opportunity through his education. Now, Dr. Chand, with his innate ability to recognize potential, saw a spark in Benson. He didn't just see a groundskeeper. He saw a mind waiting to be nurtured, a spirit yearning to soar. A simple introduction blossomed into a profound connection, a mentorship that would forever change the course of both of their lives. Recognizing Benson's work ethic and quiet determination, Dr. Chand entrusted him with a position in the campus library. Benson flourished, proving that given the chance, he could excel in any arena. As Beulah Heights welcomed a growing number of international students, Dr. Chand once again turned to Benson, appointing him as their liaison, a guide to navigate the complexities of a new culture and academic life. Year after year, Dr. Chand witnessed Benson's transformation, his protege blossoming into a leader. He mentored him, championed him, and provided fertile ground for his growth. And when the time came for Dr. Chand to pass the torch of leadership, the question arose, who could possibly fill his shoes? The answer was clear, resounding, and undeniable. It was Dr. Benson Karanja. So today, when Dr. Chand visits Beulah Heights, he walks past the buildings that he erected under his leadership, the very structures that bear witness to his legacy, and he passes a bust crafted in his honor It's a testament to his contributions. But the true embodiment of his legacy is not found in the brick and mortar, nor in the bronze. It's found in the office of the president, where Dr. Benson Karanja, his friend, his mentee, now sits behind that president's desk. You see, inheritance is what you leave behind, but legacy is who you leave behind, because buildings will crumble and possessions will fade, but the impact on a life, the investment in another soul, well, that will echo through eternity. You see, everyone leaves an inheritance, but only some will leave a legacy. So my question for you today is, will you only leave an inheritance, or will you also leave a great legacy? Thanks for joining me today. We'll talk again soon.